I'm looking at Claudio Ray's beds because I have one. I have this bed. And it's bed number 14. In that I'm redoing the bedding, the quilt, the sham, the canopy. I'm noticing some of the gold that's on the wrought iron that's been hand hammered. It's worn off in some places, so I wanted to get more gold to highlight the iron bed frame, and not exactly losing my train of thought. It's one of the reasons I'm feeling a little vexed today. My head itches. And it's kind of annoying me because I keep itching the same spot, and I'm like, ugh. So that's also one of the reasons I'm vexed today. So sorry about that. Anyway, I was talking about the bed. I chose Claudio Ray's number 14, but it wasn't my first choice. My first choice was, I saw this. I'll show you the bed. It was, if I remember, on his brochure and probably his website. It's his probably a very popular one. So I saw that bed, and I'm like, wow, I love that bed. I'm so in love with that bed. And I ordered the brochure. I'm on the website. It doesn't look like they list the prices. But the process for me was, wow, I love that bed. And I learned about the quality. I learned about hand hammering versus pouring into a mold. And then I did myself the service to look at the other offerings Claudio Ray's had, and try and figure out who they were for. What was the bed's expression? For instance, I saw one here. I'm like, this is for a woman that gardens. This is for a woman that has a lovely garden, right? Maybe, that has a garden right outside her door, So I went through all his bed offerings, and I was so sold on the first bed I saw that I was like, this is just pure romance. I love just this, how this goes straight across, like a bar, but it's a dalliance, and I'm just like, it's so romantic. And the process was, well, I'm single. Shouldn't I be waiting to buy an expensive bed with someone? And so, there was some interplay in my head of that conversation. And then it was like, ultimately, I think you should get the bed you want, and give myself permission for that. So in giving myself permission to have a bed that I wanted, I looked at his what he had to offer. Hi, Minnow. And I ultimately chose this one with it's more open. I kind of think of it as Rococo only because of the spirals and the S's and the curves, and it's open flowing framework. And the more I studied Claudio Ray's, oops, lost it. Yikes. The more I studied Claudio Ray's, the first bed that I thought that I loved, like that was the bed for me. The more I saw it, the more I looked at his other ones and went back and referenced the first bed. So this is the bed I have, open and flowing. I bought the canopy option. You don't have to have it, but I thought, buy it now, get it delivered. You could store it under the bed at the very least and have a canopy if you want. Because I couldn't decide at the time if I wanted a canopy, but I can see that you can have a canopy option. I think I paid $500 extra at the time to have a canopy option. Does that seem like a lot? Yes, no, I don't know. I moved to Maine, I didn't have any furniture. Had a dog, we shared a futon till I bought a bed. Then I told Honey H Hound, walked through the room, mine, yours. Honeyhound acted like she understood me. Honeyhound didn't get on the bed. Honeyhound took over the futon. So we walked through the house and I'm like, mine, yours, mine, yours. So let's see. Here's another, that's the same one, only it's bigger. So, I mean, look, that's just pure romance to me. It's pure romance. It's very princess-like. Ultimately, so that's my bed I have, and it's got flourishes on. As I went back and forth, so I looked at his offerings and tried to grasp the expression. You know, this feels more like it's for someone who's an executive and has an executive relationship in a somewhat contemporary environment with her husband. And things are nice and neat or something. Executive. I really don't know how that spills over, but I use my imagination to the best of my abilities. But as I went back to the first one that caught my eye, I started to not like it on this principle. The more I kept looking at it, the more I was like, it's just a little too saccharine sweet. And so that's where I ultimately went for a bed that didn't catch my eye in the beginning, but over time was able to see, well, this is really beautiful. Looks like he's doing something quite unique. That's an iron bed. I haven't seen that one. That one looks fairly new and organic. Looks like a new design, possibly. See if it takes where it takes you. It's on Pinterest, so that doesn't mean it's necessarily Claudia Ray's. Let's see. Anyway, I haven't actually seen him make a whole lot of new designs since when I first discovered his iron frame beds. Because I've checked back, like, what's new? Not seeing that he's doing anything new. Anyway, so that was me talking about my bed escapade. I chose bed 14, apparently. The one I really, really thought I wanted, I ultimately didn't choose. The first one I saw and fell in love with, I didn't choose because the more I looked at it, I'm like, it's utter romance, and it's just a little too sweet. It doesn't sit well with me. Although I was and still is greatly attracted to it, I think I made the better choice for going the distance. And what I mean is, even now when I look at, I'm trying to find it here. Even now when I look at this bed, to me, it seems to confine and define the expression it would lend, which is kind of princess and definitely romance. And what I like about the bed I got is, I'll show you a couple. I mean, this is kind of like, almost looks like that could be a shabby chic, flowing country, you know, out in the country kind of form. And it has beauty. It's got a substantial frame. It's not, I don't feel like it's making me play the game. By that I mean with hyphens. I have to be romantic and princess-like to be perceived as becoming. Here's one that's dressed up. Actually looks incredible with yellow, I think. But that's the bed I have. Anyway, yellow is kind of interesting to look at. So let's see. We want to I found a website. I was looking at Claudia Ray's and then I saw the side tables, so I pointed that out online. They're selling these side tables. I have 2 of them for $7,800, and I'm like, you know what? I really think you've overstated the price. Because I will let you in on a little secret. When I bought my bed, those 2 side tables were included for free. In addition to, you would have to put the glass in. Those have glass. I use one of those. I've turned it into a dog bed for Minnow. I used industrial shade tarp and Velcro around those edges, so it kind of swoops down like a hammock. It can be ventilated in hot weather, or I have a small sheepskin that fits in it, and I put Minnow's his a wooden toy box for his toys underneath it. I still have the other one, so that was interesting. This is listed at, ironically, Daring Hall. For that, the Daring Hall. Daring Do. It's a do-gooder. Herring, like the red herring. That's following a ruse. DH, designated hitter, doctrine of humanities. D, parentheses H, daring herring do. I don't know, it kind of seems weird if you think about the echo. I don't know if you're able to hear that with Mark Smith, who came out here from Fairpoint. He talked about the corruption in the echo chamber. That the branch of the wire needs to be cut off, because this location, Part of the bad service he surmises that I have here is the wire extends 700 feet and it goes nowhere, and it produces a echo chamber, a corrupt echo chamber. It goes nowhere, so my information gets sent twice, which slows everything down and is probably why I can only do one thing at a time, hopefully, when using their Fairpoint service. Just checking if the website actually got uploaded. Ooh, 7,300. So not all the way. Anyway.